Hello, this is Kristen with Faith and Intimacy, and I am so excited to be here today. And today we are going to be talking about date night ins, what that looks like, and how that can be so beneficial for your marriage. So the first thing about a date night, any type of a date night, if you're going out or if you're staying in, is you have to schedule it, right? That is the biggest thing when you have children or when you have very busy lives, is to pick a night or a day or a lunch, whatever works for you and your spouse, but you have to pick that time and you have to stick with it. You cannot cancel your plans. You have to be committed to that time that you picked, that date that you are going to have with your spouse. And for me and my husband, Jacob, now that we have 3 little girls that are 7, 5, and 3, we do not get to go out as much as we used to. We started dating in college and we could literally go out with each other every single night. We could go out to lunch every single day or eat breakfast together. Whatever the case may be, we had full access to each other whenever we wanted. And now that we have 3 little girls, that time is a lot more limited, even though it is still great to be busy with our kids. We still want to make sure that we are making our marriage a priority and that we are sticking with our date nights. And so what we have come to know and love is date night ins. And a date night in sounds so simple, but what you have to do is you have to romance it. And that is exactly what Jacob and I do. And we love it. And it has been so beneficial to our marriage. So we pick a day, and sometimes we only schedule it like 3 days in advance, which is the amazing thing that you can do with a date night in. You really can't do that with a date night out because there are so many different factors that play into it, such as getting a babysitter. So I will plan a date night that I think will work. Usually I'm usually the planner, but I will bring it up to Jacob saying, hey, on Friday night or Wednesday night, whatever day it works, we're not busy that night. Like, do you want to hang out with me? Do you want to have a date night? And he automatically knows that it's a date night in. He does not even think in his head that it could be a date night out, because that a date night out is like super rare for us. And we actually really love and cherish our date night ins. So we both get super excited about date night ins anyway. So I will send him a message saying, hey, let's plan a date night in for Friday. And of course he like jumps in, like he's super excited. He's like, oh yeah, I can't wait. So then we romanticize it, right? So like we build it up. So we're not just going to do our normal every night thing. Like we put the kids to bed, and usually we like watch TV together. We talk every night after the kids go to bed. We always do that. But this is different. This is special, and you have to treat it that way. So that way you stay committed to that special time with your spouse. So we will talk about, for however many days we plan this in advance, if we plan it a week in advance or if we plan it 3 days in advance, we will be talking about it that whole time, building it up, talking about what are we going to be doing? Are we going to be watching a movie or a favorite TV show, or are we going to play a card game or a board game or a truth or dare game on your phone, or are we going to just talk and come up with some questionnaires about each other, or there's tons online that you can Google and get that talk about more than just like what's your favorite color. There are some really awesome questionnaires that like really dig deep about your spouse, and maybe asking some questions and getting to know some things that you don't know. Even if you've been married for 20, 30 years, there's something down there that maybe you don't know that would be really cool to find out. So that could be an option too. And we just pick like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we want to do. Then we go into like snacks, right? Like, okay, it's usually always after dinner, put the kids to bed, then it's our time to have our date night in. So we usually get like something sweet and something salty, something to snack on. And again, this is not like popcorn, right? Unless you guys like really love popcorn, but popcorn is like an every night kind of thing around here at least. So it has to be something different, something a little special. Maybe, I don't know, a charcuterie board or a favorite chocolate that you usually don't get, something special that you just wouldn't have on a random weeknight, right? We're thinking special, romanticize it. Then are we going to be listening to music maybe? You could start creating a playlist like on Spotify or Apple Music. You could put in some of your favorite songs. You could put in some of your spouse's favorite songs, or they could help you add to that list, which is like super fun to do. Jacob and I both love music so much, and we have like a huge range of what we like. So it is really fun when we get together and we just listen to music, or if we're in the car and we actually get to listen to our own music and not, Frozen or Encanto. We love like listening to each other's music and like, look at this song that I just found. We always do that because we share the same Spotify account. And so this is just something else that you guys can do to be really fun, is create a playlist for the night. Like set the mood, whatever that may look like for you and your marriage, but like set the mood for the night. And then anything else that you may want to do or talk about that night, you can talk about what you're going to wear. Like, okay, are we going to wear like comfy pajamas or comfy clothes, which is like pretty much always what Jacob and I do. We are always into wearing comfy clothes, but what each other likes too. Like we both want to be attractive to each other is probably like the best way to say it. Like I want to look good for Jacob, and I believe Jacob wants to look good for me too. So we try to pick clothes that are comfy, but also that we know that our spouse would like, because again, this is a special night for you and it's also a special night for your spouse. And so it's really nice to just take that extra step for them, so that way they know that this is special, that this is important to you, and that your marriage is important to you. And just these little things like a date night can just mean so much. A date night in, it's a very simple concept, but the more you romanticize it, the more you talk it up, the better it will be and the better the outcome will be. And I just know that if it's been a while since Jacob and I have had a romanticized date night in, we both kind of crave it. We're both like, man, I just really want that special one-on-one intimate time with you, not just, let's just put on this same show, The Office, or Friends, whatever it may be, that we watch every single night and then we're going to fall asleep on the couch, like it's special. It is definitely set aside from a normal night, and that's the way you have to treat it. Otherwise, it's more likely to get canceled, right? So like if you're kind of tired that day, which we're all at like this stage in our lives with like little kids, like we're all tired and we're busy, and it's so easy to say, let's just like reschedule this for next week, right? Like it's so easy to do that. So if you don't look forward to it and you don't plan it and you don't romanticize this date night in, it's just so much easier to cancel, which is so sad. And you don't want to do that on either ends. You don't want to do that for your spouse, and they don't want to do that to you. So take that extra time to plan out a date night in. Talk about it throughout the day. Talk about it throughout the week. Romanticize it. Build it up. And then have a great intimate night with your spouse. Enjoy that alone time that you get to have, and that connection that you and your spouse already have. You will create an even greater connection that will last a lifetime.